Good evening, everybody. Hopefully, we are here with you. It's always a bit of a gamble. I always say that, don't I, every week, but we're never too sure if we've hit the right buttons and have gone live. But hopefully, we are live and with you this evening, 7 p.m. on Monday for our Monday Night Natter. This week is a playtime Monday Night Natter, and that means that if you have any questions that you would like us to answer, maybe you want to know something about an ink pad, maybe you want to know something about a glitter or a paste, then just yell in the comments and we'll do our best to answer them for you. I always like these evenings because they're kind of led a bit by you, but don't panic if you don't have any questions. We, of course, have got some demos and bits to go through. Now, today we made a very exciting, well, it wasn't today actually, was it? I think it was yesterday that we show you that we'd gained a new warehouse. Today we uploaded the tour video and sort of show you that. And I'm mentioning this already because when we cut over to our hostage camp this evening to see Peter, you might notice that things are starting to change already. I don't know what this is about, but I do warn you. Prepare yourself. Shall we say good evening?
Good evening, everyone.
Can you explain yourself? What is this about?
I said to him, I'm in hostage corner, but I felt like a criminal because it was all like white behind me, and what I need is one of them little black lines.
So you want the measuring lines behind you?
Well, I feel like I'm literally that.
Mugshot
looks
lines.
like I'm in a cupboard. I am literally in a cupboard.
Are you whinging already?
Everything. There's nothing there. Look.
I have. I can't lie to you all. I'm a little excited about this here warehouse. So we have already started over the weekend moving and trying to get bits in place. So yeah, there's lots of excitement in the building about that one, and it does mean that nothing is safe. So, and I'm well behind with just about everything I'm meant to be doing because I'm trying to move boxes and bits and having far too much fun. But shall we say hello to a few people and see who's with us this evening?
Kim's asking about the sound. Is it quiet? Did we do the mics?
I've done the mics, so we shouldn't be quiet. But I haven't. I haven't. I checked before I reset
Brace
it. Well
your
done,
eardrums.
Kim. Yeah, prepare yourself.
Here we go.
That might be better.
Thanks, Kim.
Thanks,
good job,
Kim.
Kim.
I promise you, I did do it, and then I forgot actually because I did it in the little foldery thing that we're on. I say folder, room, whatever it may be, and then I left the room and come back, didn't I? Or left the folder and come back. So that would have done it. Sorry, thank you for telling us. So, shall we have a little look and see who's joined us this evening while we're waffling? We've got evening Porsche, evening Kim, evening Sheila, Yvonne. Jan's with us. Oh, it's lovely to have you with us this evening, Jan. Thank you for joining us. Rosie, Emma. Oh, our lovely Emma. I was just thinking, I haven't heard from you today. I hope everything's okay. Bethan, Mandy, Samantha, May, Kim, Fran, people. Oh, there's loads of you. Oh, it's so lovely to have you here. Oh, Sheila says it was an excellent tour. Honestly, it was a bit echoey, wasn't it? But it is a big old empty space. But that's exciting, isn't it? We'll fill that. We'll soon get rid of them echoes, I promise. Hayley says, good evening. First time I'm catching her live. So lovely to have you with us, Hayley. Lovely to have you here. Tonight is just kind of a bit of a playtime one, so we're just going to be playing around with a few products. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to jump in and ask them. Fran says, what are the flowers on the card to Jamie's right? Black background. That will be this one.
This card,
Peter has pointed to it. Come on, Peter. You know I can never remember anything. What are they? Are they the rippled blooms?
Rippled blooms, I believe.
Rippled blooms.
I'd reach to my shelf, but it's not here.
Oh, do you want to do your little reenactment? Look at it. Oh, we're just going to get your belly, I think, at this stage.
No one wants to see that, do they?
Trying to reach to the shelf, but they're not there. They're gone. They're a few miles down the road in an undisclosed location, I'm afraid, Peter. Going back to this lovely card that Fran's asked about, this is the one that Ian has created using one of the Stencil Vault stencils in the background, some of our entwined foliage and our flowers over the top. And I'm going to see if I can move that camera down a little bit because it's a little bit off the screen. Here we go, that's better. So this is the flower set that has been used, the Rippled Blooms set, to give you an idea of what one that is. Let's have a little look, where were we? So I'd got down to Fran, hadn't I? Good evening, Catherine. Good evening, Teresa. Diane's with us. Evening, Diane. Evening, Karen. Evening, Jane. Oh, there's loads of you. Good evening, Laura. Oh, Laura's just shared a very lovely card over on the group this evening. I literally approved it just before we went live. Very, very stunning card with the vintage travel collection. So if you're not on the group, or if you are on the group, go and have a little look at that because it's really, really lovely. Kathleen says she loved the warehouse tour. I was sure you would put Pete on hostage cam on the mezzanine level. He wasn't there. Honestly, I'd gone in rogue. I'd gone in on my own. Literally, I'd taken the van and popped over, did my little photo, and then did a quick little run round, and then it needed to be edited and sort of patched together because it has to. I don't know. I'm not very good with technology, but on an iPhone, I can't work out how you're recording, and then you flip it to record the other side. And you didn't want 8 minutes of me just wandering around looking at me. But then I thought if we just started on a random building and you didn't know what it was or where we was or why, that was a bit random too. So I had to kind of glue it all together. The magic of editing, and hence why it went up this morning.
So now Kathleen's giving you ideas about putting me on the mezzanine level.
We could do, couldn't we?
Kathleen.
Lynn said earlier, I'm sorry guys, we're going off on lots of rambling, aren't we? I'm not really doing any of this demoing bit, and we've got new time viewers, so we really should like stay on point and do the job properly. But quickly, Lynn reckoned the electric cupboard was yours. Do you reckon that's where I was going to keep you?
What, the cupboard under
the
the
little
stairs?
cupboard where the server is for the internet and all that bit. Do you reckon I was going to keep you in there?
I'll just fold up in there,
like
shall
Harry
I?
Potter.
Okay. Lynn, we need to have a chat next time I deliver to you.
Yes.
I don't know what we're going to chat about.
Sounds a bit menacing, doesn't it? This is why I have to keep him in here,
know.
you lot. It's because if not, it goes off on these rogue frets. Okay, so shall we do some crafting this evening? That's what you've joined us for, not to just listen to our chit-chat, I'm sure. So one of the cards I posted this week was this one. We're still a bit high. Can we bring that down a bit more? Let's get the right camera, shall we? There we go. So this is one of the cards we shared with you this week, and I had a lot of questions about it. Being honest, I was going to do a proper kit because I hadn't got a kit for this one to show how to do it. But time's just kind of run away with me because I've been caught up in lots of different things, lots of exciting things, including warehouse tours and bits, and I haven't got round to making a proper kit for it. But I thought, do you know what? We're going to wing it because I think the bit you really want to know about is this bit here. And that's super easy to do. But I know in a photo, it's probably not as simple to see, but you've probably already worked it out by me just opening and closing it live. But we'll have a little look at this and I'll talk to you a little bit more about that one. And then we'll go off and do some proper demos of kits I've actually created, I promise, or had created. So we'll have a little look at that. But before we do, I forgot, we haven't done any of the bits we're meant to do, are we? We've been caught up in your hostage cam and all the other bits, and we haven't done any of the announcements we're meant to do.
Very bad.
Honestly, I'm not with it today, am I?
Do you get a warning this week?
Yeah, I'll have a warning. Go on then. How many did you get last week? 3? Because I didn't keep my piece of paper.
Hung on to that 3, didn't you?
I only got 1, I think.
2.
1. Sure it was 1.
All right, I think
One.
you got 1, viewers.
I think it was 2, but we'll go with it. Okay, so what are we meant to have done that I haven't done? Homework winners. So this week we asked you to do #mini over on our group, didn't we? And I was so pleased to see so many of you enter because I know for myself speaking, mini is quite a difficult thing to do. And I know we've got viewers this evening from all around the world. And I know a lot of the world does small cards, but I know here in the UK, a lot of us kind of follow in my footsteps of, or not my footsteps, but in the style of doing big cards. So actually trying to strip things back to a mini 5x5 is a little bit more of a challenge for some of us. I know it is for myself. But this week was all about #mini, and I was delighted to see how many of you entered. But of course, as we do every week, we have to have a winner. So who is our winner this week, Peter?
Oh, no, you're asking. You can't put the camera on me now.
Have you forgot?
Well, I haven't got it written down in front of me. I think I've been sacked. I wasn't expecting hostage cam.
I don't know. Do we normally
again.
come to you for the winner of this one? No, I'm sorry. I'm really not with it.
I've got to read my own writing now. So, congratulations this week go to a very lovely card. Lovely card. They're all lovely cards, don't get me wrong. Linda, I've got to try and remember it again now. I've given it back to him. Linda Renshaw. So, congratulations. There's a bundle of goodies on their way. It always took me off now.
I hit the wrong button, sorry. We're not good tonight, are we? I knew you are never coming back.
So, yeah, Linda, congratulations. Jamie will get a bundle of goodies ready for you.
If you could please message the page, Linda, with your address, that would be brilliant, and then we'll get them sent out to you. So that is our homework this week, or our winner for this week. There is a new homework mission that we will set later on the live for you to do next week. That one's going to be kind of cool, and I've got a demo that we're going to do that sort of ties in, so I'll tell you about that when we get there. Now, reminders for you. This week, we have got the lovely demo day coming up with Gwen Fletcher at her very own store, the Stamp Pad in Saddleworth. Remember that. But our demo day coming up Saturday the 7th at Gwen Shop, the Stamp Pad in Saddleworth. It's going to be a great day. Gwen's going to be looking at loads of different products and giving you loads of inspiration. We all know and love Gwen, don't we? Speaking of which, did you catch her live on Thursday? Wasn't that brilliant? Me and Pete sat there like completely glued to the screen. So many ideas, so many hints, so many techniques. Amazing. Half the waffling that we've given you this evening already. She's amazing, isn't she?
She's professional.
She is professional. She don't hit the
is.
wrong buttons like we do.
She doesn't.
Go off on wrong tangents. So yeah, so Gwen's demo day, Saturday 7th of June. I'm going to say 10 till 4. I think that's what she's doing, isn't it? 10 till 4. And you're going to book slots as well. But jump over to the Stamp Pad page where you'll see all about Gwen's demo day. But just as a little shout out, make sure that you go and attend and support Gwen. See her lovely store. And while you're there, check out the homeware bit. When we popped up the other day for a little tour and to talk about a demo day and all different bits that are coming up, it was really lovely looking around the homewares department as well as the craft stuff. Of course, lots of craft stuff. The homewares department, there's quite a few bits I wanted to collect from there.
Lovely
wasn't
bits,
there?
weren't there?
Yeah, lovely bits, but lovely store, lovely craft selection, incredible place, and of course, home of Gwen Fletcher. So check that out on Saturday, the 7th of June. And then one last thing, and then I promise we're going to go back to this card before I forget anything else. On Tuesday night, as in tomorrow, Highlight Crafts have got a bingo night going on. Now, I think this is going to be a right hoot. And if you haven't already heard of it or seen it, you can, and I get a little lost with technology, but you download a bingo card and you answer some questions to pick your numbers, and then you play along live with them and you can win gifts. We have donated a prize for this event, so I'm sure there's going to be loads of goodies you can win, but there is of course a little bit of us included in it too. So if you haven't already got that in your diaries, tomorrow night 7 PM on the Highlight Crafts Facebook page, we'll try and share it on our one as well, but go join in on the main page, Highlight Crafts, and you'll be able to join in with their bingo goodies. Don't forget in advance to download and fill out your forms so that you can take part, and hopefully you'll potentially win some gifts. Okay, back to where we were. And Pete, see if there's any questions for me while we've been rambling, because there's lots of movement and I don't want to miss anything.
Sheila was just asking, Gwen said she was doing another live on Thursday, is that right?
Gwen is back on Thursday. Yes, you are one step ahead of my notes, Sheila. Thank you. I like this. You keep me on track.
They
on
all keep
Thursday,
us in line, don't they?
Somebody's got to, haven't they? I think we've
you.
shown this evening we cannot be trusted. We cannot be left. So on Thursday, Gwen will be back at 7 PM. Now, Gwen is a regular fixture. So every week you will now be having demos from Gwen at 7 PM on Thursday, except not this week, but next week. Next week, me and Gwen are swapping, and I will be on Thursday and Gwen will be on Monday. I'll run through this again later for you, but we're just having a bit of a swap round next week because we've got a bit of a booking conflict. So we're going to swap round, and she will be with you on Monday and I will be with you on Thursday. But this week, as standard, I'm here Monday, she's here Thursday. Did that all make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
I feel I confused myself with what days of the week I'm talking about.
No.
I can
No,
even let you in on some little secrets of what Gwen will be sharing with you. So last Thursday, if you didn't get to see it, do go back and watch it. It was very, very entertaining. Gwen was looking at the Essentials collection, and she took you through the whole collection and did some demos, and she demoed in a really different way, which I really liked. She kind of did little mini bits and then brought it all together. Really interesting. But she will be, other than like me, who just waffles and cuts, she will be back on Thursday. This Thursday, she will be looking at the travel collection. And then on Monday, when it's meant to be me, but it isn't, it's Gwen, she will be looking at the music collection. So they're two more recent collections, and I know that she's got some great ideas for these. There are also collections she will be featuring at her demo day on Saturday. So again, you're going to get even more inspiration from those in that format too. So, okay, back to where we are. So for this card that we're kind of having a little look at, I've gone ahead and I've used the swirl tile, and I've used the outside edge, which comes with the set, to cut out that panel. If we don't use the outside edge, then the swirls are going to stay attached to our cardstock and they're going to stay in place. If I share with you this music set, to give you a little bit of an idea here, if we use the outside edge, we get it to cut away. If we don't choose to use the outside edge, that's that one, it will stay in place and we can choose where we cut it out from, or we can use the outside of the frame, which comes with it, and trim that into the center, giving you a larger square, if that makes sense. if I show you the set of dies actually in their packing, you're going to see here what I mean. So you've got your frame, you've got your outside edge, and then you've got your swirly panel. These literally come out earlier this week. Last Tuesday.
Lose track of the days, don't
Was
we?
it Tuesday? It was Tuesday because it was bank holiday, wasn't it? So was it like the 27th? They come out on the 27th. Lots of our stockists have now got these available for you. They've been incredibly, incredibly popular. If you haven't found our stockists yet, do check out the stockist list on the website, which is www.jamierogerscrafts.com. If we have any stockists with us this evening, then please don't hesitate to drop a link in the comments so that we know where to find these goodies. Now, once we've created this panel, which we're going to be using in a second, we can take that away. It's all cut perfectly beautifully. We've got our swirls ready. We're then going to go on to the frame. And for the frame element, for this card, we don't actually want the frame in blue. We want the backing square that it's going to cut for us. Now, we could trim this out on a guillotine if we wanted to, so you don't have to use the frame in this sense. But I always like when you cut with a die, how you get that nice, neat, beveled edge to it. So we're going to go with a frame, and we're going to bring in a piece of light blue card. This is our seashell blue card from the Elite collection, and we're going to send this through the machine. And it's going to cut that out for us. Mandy says the demo day is too far away. I'm sorry to hear that. It's always awful, isn't it, when they're a bit too far away? But I can tell you, Mandy, and I don't actually know where Mandy's located, but I can tell you that we are in chats with several stockists to have demo days up and down the country, quite literally, coming up in the next few months if everything goes to plan. So if one isn't quite near you at the moment, then by all means, and this is always a good idea, if you've got a stockist that you're supporting, if you're close to, I don't know, the Art of Craft or Unicorn Crafts or one of our other stockists, you know that they work with us, give them a mention. Let them know that you would like a demo day there. I can't, of course, guarantee that they're going to be able to accommodate that. They might even not do demo days, but they might not be aware we even do demo days. So as a stockist, it never hurts to give them a bit of a prod and tell them that you'd really like to see us come and visit. And by us, I mean Gwen. We send poor little Gwen out all over the country to bring you these amazing demo days because she's so good at them. Okay, so once we've taken that off from here, you can see that we've of course got our frame. We don't actually need this bit. That's just a bonus to the cut. We wanted the square from the middle, and we want the square so that this lovely swirly panel can go on top. Now, just slightly, because of what we're doing with this, we're going to go off on another tangent, as if there weren't enough tangents going on this evening, and we're going to bring this in. This is our kitten kaboodle dual-sided 5-in-1 paper cutter. And last week I told you that this week we were going to have a little play with this and that I was going to have a little look at it and get it out of the box in advance. As you can see, that hasn't happened. So shall we delve into this together and see what's hidden in here? Now these of course are available to you from Highlight Crafts or liveshopping.vip, depending on how you know it as. And I'm sure they've got them at a fantastic price. So let's delve into here and see what we've got. Because we're going to need a trimmer. We'll have a little play with this one. So straight out of the box, still in its wrapper. Let's have a little look. We've got a little sticker on the top there to bring that open. And we've got, I really fell in love with this because it can do so many bits and bobs. So it's a 5-in-1. So that means that we've got a scoreboard attached to it. We've got bits I don't even know what they're for, to be honest with you. There's a corner rounder in here, that's exciting. We've got a trimmer, we've got a scoreboard, and, oh, if we flip it, we've got a guillotine. Now, are you a guillotine user or are you a or like a trimmer user? What do you prefer? Is that, oh, I don't know if that is that cut. I don't think that is cut. I think that's just a score one. Oh, we'll have a play with that, shall we? So we'll have a little dig in. But we're going to do our cutting with it first of all, and then we'll play with some more of the features of it shortly. We're going to bring in the little square, and we're just going to trim this down ever so slightly. Oh, that's crisp.
It's currently on promotion on their website with £10 off.
Is it?
$39.99. That's on highlightcrafts.com.
That's very, very good for such a good bit of kit. It's well built. It's a robust bit of kit. I like that. Okay. We'll come back to playing with that in a minute. We'll look at some more of the features. But we've trimmed down our square and we're going to bring in that swirly square. And we're going to check that we ain't trimmed too much off. We haven't, that's good. And we're going to pick up some glue. So of course I'm using our dries clear glue, and I've put it out onto one of our little blending mats, and I'm using just a blending tool, and we're going to go across the top of this. And then, as you know, I always save this one little applicator for my glues, and I just apply them with this one, and I keep one of those for our clear dry glue, and I keep one of those for our sticky stuff glue, because they're very different mediums or glues, and they actually affect the foam pad slightly differently. This one will dry quite hard and solid, which is fine because it's just going to keep like a waxy finish to it for picking up the glue and transferring it. When we use the sticky stuff one, that kind of dries a bit squidgy. It's a completely different beast really, and it stays kind of tacky and squidgy. So I tend not to mix between the two. We're going to bring that in and we're going to place that down on here. Now the reason we've trimmed that small amount off the edge of this, it's not vital, but because we're going to be making an interlocking system, that square started off the perfect fit to go back into a frame. If we just take off a small edge of it, it's going to fit into here easier and create our locking mechanism without any faff. And that's always nice, isn't it? We don't want anyone to get kind of stuck trying to lock the two pieces together. So that just makes it flow slightly easier. Once we've got this bit, we need to work on our card blanks. Let's take that board out of the way for the second. And we're going to bring in our piece of card, and we're going to go back to our kitten kaboodle tool. Now in here somewhere, oh, I think I found it. We have a score tool. There is also like an envelope guide up here, I think. What have we got? Gift boxes and envelopes. The gift boxes and envelopes, and then that is going to fit with onto your scoreboard to give you the right increments and bits to do it, I guess. Very, very cool. I'll experiment more with that later. We'll place it back inside the little cubbyhole for now. If we can find what way it goes. Oh, there we go. And we'll go back to this bit. So what we're going to do to begin with is we're going to take a piece of card and I suppose should we try this? What does that do? I think that might.
Alison spotted her glue.
Is that a cutter or a... I'm not too sure if I'm meant to be cutting with that. Am I not pressing hard enough? This is why you should play with things outside of the box before you just dig into them and start like attacking them. I think that's meant to be a cutter. I'm going to go with the idea of a cut. So let's try that again. Oh,
Looks like it puts an edge on there, doesn't it?
I think it puts an edge on it. Yeah, we have got a cut line. Yeah, that would work. Cut line, wiggle. Should we go for the other one? I really should have watched more about this. Oh, that's nice. Look at that. Where are we? Can you see that? Can it's coming through? Little score line, little indent line. That's cute. I like that. Okay, so we want to score anyway. Let's do the scoring bit. So we're going to start off at 1 inch and we're going to do a little gatefold. So how are we going to do that? Let's go for there. Oh, that might work. And we're going to go for in there at 2 inches and bring that down. And then because we're going to make a gatefold, we want double that in the middle. So we're going to go up to 4 inches for the next line, I suppose. So that's going to be here. And then we're going to go 2 inches again from there. So we can put that one down there. And, oh, where are we? 2 inches over here. And then we're going to go down on that one. And then we're going to, have I done that anywhere near right? I don't know. It's always a bit of a gamble. And then we're going to turn that over and we're going to go with the idea that that was a 4 inch square and we're going to cut that bit off. Is that right? No, that ain't right. Am I on inches? I am on inches. Why does that not look right? I don't know right. Oh, what have we done wrong? Oh, we need to cut that bit off, don't we? Can you hear the cogs whirring? Honestly, this is not what you have tuned in for.
It's the inner thinking of Jamie Rodgers.
Oh, you don't. I see that ain't
tuned
right.
in.
How have I done that so wrong? What did I do wrong there then, guys? Oh, it still works. It wasn't at all. I've made a mistake somewhere, but it'll work, so we'll go with it. So we should have ended up with a perfect gatefold. I didn't, because I can't actually add clearly. But we have got a little gatefold mechanism, and that's all that we actually needed. So we're going to work with it as it is and create a gatefold card. We'll have a wonky gatefold instead of a typical gatefold. Oh, Wendy, I can see Wendy's with us. She won't like this being wonky. Okay, let's have a little look. What are we missing on here? Have you missed any comments, Pete?
Well, May and Beth both say it perforates the card.
I think it does perforate. Oh, that one did. The line did. Look at the line at the other end. That's perforated. Oh, Peter. Oh, that's perforated. Yeah, that little stitch line, that was a perforating line. So it can go in and rip off.
Oh.
Sorry, I got caught up in the perforations, didn't I?
I think he's excited at a new toy.
I love a new toy. I love anything like that because it's just something fun to play with, isn't it? It's a new gadget. So then we're going to go on to our frame element of this. So we're going to bring in these. Now these are 3 frames that I have already cut earlier, and I've got a little dotty one, and then I've got a scalloped one, and I've got another dotty one. And we're going to go for using the dotty ones, and we're going to cover up this scalloped one with some glue, going all the way around that. And again, you could do this with your tool thing if you prefer, but we're just going to go and wing it, and we're going to bring in this frame, and we're going to add that over the top of that one so that we end up with a double stack frame. And why we're doing this is because we want this to be slightly stronger. If we're going to be sticking these sort of up in the air and over the edge of our gatefold card, we want there to be a little bit of strength to this. Although we're working with 300 GSM card, it's still good to have a bit more extra strength where we can, so that we know that that's going to stand the test of time and we can interlock this multiple times. So we'll add some glue around the edge of that one, and then we're going to bring this frame in and we're going to stick this on the back of it. So we've sandwiched those back to back so that we've got dotty embossed lines running around on both sides. We're just going to take off our excess glue, not fearing because we know it dries clear. And then with my one, I foam taped mine. So should we do that? Let's do it how we did it properly, because it'll be nice to see the foam tape, giving a bit of height and dimension. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my reel of foam tape while we let that set. I'm going to take the glue out of the way for the second. I'm going to get that little bit off that I spilt. And we're going to bring in some scissors. And we're going to take our roll. And we're going to take a small amount off. We don't need loads. We'll go for about there. And then we're going to cut down this foam tape so that it's nice and thin, so that it's not too bulky for what we're working with. So just all the way down, giving us a nice thin piece. Now, if your scissors stick to it, like some scissors do, then if you've got the lid of a self-adhesive sheet, you can place that onto the other side of it and it will cut easier. Or if you've got some of this that you've already used and you've got the lid from that bit, then you could use that as well on the other side. But we only need a small amount, and we're going to bring back in that frame that we've just glued together, and we're going to go around halfway on the reverse of the frame, because we only need to do half of it, because it's going to go halfway onto one side of our gatefold, and then the other half is going to be suspended in the air. So we'll go to about there and take that part away. And then we can peel this off. And then this time we're going to go with the frame part going over the short side. And we're going to check that we're around where we need to be. And we're going to place that onto that side. There we go. And then we're going to bring in a little bit more of that foam tape. And we're going to put this onto that section that we created earlier, the blue one. And we're going to put a couple of lines onto the back of that. Take the lid off of those ones, and then we're going to close our frame up, and we're going to place that together on the inside of our frame. And that is how you're going to create your locking mechanism. As simple as that. And I actually, although it wasn't intentional, I actually really like this card fold, because then you've got a bit more room over this side to add something else on, haven't you? If we'd put the frame on that side, then again that would give us a different look, or we could have it opening as a little pocket like so, and then maybe put like a gift card or something in there. And this is what I love about craft. There's loads of bits I love about craft, but even out of something that wasn't intentional due to my sort of measuring mishap, it's still quite lovely to see that actually what we created was something else that is actually really kind of fun and interesting to play with. So although that was a bit of a bodge demo, as they often are, I'm afraid, hopefully it gives you a little bit of a glimpse to how you can do it.
So he was just asking where she can see photos of the octagon box that Diane made. I know that features your swirly tile that you've just used, doesn't it? Let
me just get rid of my glue that I spilled. If that's okay, sorry. I've been proper messy tonight, haven't I? Messy, disorganised, it's all going on. So I'm just going to get rid of that bit. So that's the lovely bit about a water-based glue, isn't it? We can just clear out the way. So photos, Sue asked, was it, sorry?
She did, yeah. Shayla suggested you going onto your website, but
so yes, if you pop onto the jamierogerscrafts.com website, you should find it underneath the tab. So when you land on the website, there is all different pictures on the front page showing you each collection. And then if you give the little tab give the tab of the collection you'd like to see the photos of a click, it will take you through to the idea gallery. And then on the idea gallery at the top, it will show you the products, and then that are in that release, and then underneath are all of the photos of all of the cards that I've made and the DT have made. So there's loads and loads of inspiration. Well, I'll show it to you now because Pete's got it to hand. So we'll have a little look at that box while we're here, shall we? So Diane has made this beautiful octagon box. And then around each of the sides, you can see that beautiful swirl panel has been added with a nice gold circle on the top of it, and then a nice gold dragonfly added to the top of that. And with the dragonflies, Diane's cut them from gold mirror card, and then she's used a black stays-on pad to just rub over the top so that we get that lovely black metallic shimmer on the top of the die cut, and then that inlay of gold in the grooves where the die has debossed it for you. And then on the top, Diane has used the new flower, the button blooms flower, to go around the top of the lid, and again done those with gold and rub the black stays on over the top of them to create that beautiful detail. And then of course, this box opens beautifully, so you can then add some bits and bobs inside it and make a beautiful gift if that's what you'd like to do with it. Isn't that stunning? Absolutely love this. I love black and gold together. I think it's a really smart and gorgeous, luxurious look, but actually teamed with all of these beautiful dies and Diane's incredible work, it's just mind-boggling, isn't it? It's a beautiful, beautiful box. Now, of course, Diane's gone off and created this as an octagon, but you could easily do that as a square if you wanted. They're a little bit easier to make, aren't they, if you was to just go for square, or you could make it tall and multi-stacked, or you could take it off in loads of different ways. But these tiles and these frames certainly make that nice and easy to panel around boxes and bits. So I hope that answers your question and helps. Have we missed any other questions?
No, I don't think so. A lot of love for the warehouse, which is nice.
Oh, that's exciting. We're very excited, as I think you can probably pick up, aren't we? It's been a secret that we've kind of had to keep for a couple of weeks while everything's been going through, and it's been killing us to not tell you. You know what we're like with secrets. We tell you everything. So to keep that kind of stum while it all went through and was finalised, it's been an absolute nightmare, to be honest. But it's exciting that we can now start sharing it with you. And we've been a bit quick in telling you and sort of revealing what we're up to, because of, obviously, we've just got the keys literally a couple of days ago. So we've got a lot of work to do and a lot of kinks to iron out as such, and a lot of things to sort out. But we are really looking forward to the next few weeks as we kind of work through everything and sort everything out. And we want you to be part of the journey, as we always have done. And this is honestly the truth. You know, I know it's not every brand kind of lets you in at every stage, do that. And everyone has to do what's right for them, of course. But for us, you've been with us since the beginning. You've seen our very first video where we're like, oh, we're going to start a brand and we're not too sure how we're going to do it and what we're going to do and how that's going to work, but we hope we can do this, right the way through all of sort of our ers and ders. And now to actually be able to say, well, we're growing and this is our next mission, our next bit. To me, it's only right that we include you. You've been with us all the way through. You've got to be with us for the next bit. We're a team, aren't we? So it's not fair to not let you in on what's going on and for us to share our excitement with you all. So yeah, it's a bit early and there is some bits that still sort of are being worked on and ironed out. But as we can tell you everything, or tell you more, we'll keep you in the loop and share with you what we're up to, because it's exciting. But it has been really genuinely lovely to have all of your lovely comments and support and kind of you all joining in and sort of sharing your ideas, and that is genuinely, it's been quite touching to us, hasn't it, really, Pete?
Absolutely.
To have your excitement and your enthusiasm with us. Okay, so this is the card that we're going to do next, and we're going to show you the card and then we'll tell you about the homework, because these are kind of linked. There's not always a thread. Today there is a thread. So we are going to be working with our lovely gold mirror card, and we're going to be creating this lovely card. this is kind of your homework mission this week. I want you to work with #gold. So #gold is your mission. I don't mind if you team it with another colour. I don't mind what theme you take it off on. I don't care or mind what project size, anything else you want to do with it. The mission is it's got to include gold. And I want to see gold as like a big focal point within your project. It doesn't have to be the biggest part, but it's got to make the statement. So with this card, I feel you can see it's really coming through in lots of different places. But actually, if you was to add up footprint and size, probably white is the predominant colour. So it doesn't have to necessarily be the be all and end all of your project, but it has to be a really strong component. Whether you team that with different colours, whether you go off on different themes, whether you do boxes, scrapbook pages, cards, whatever you want to do, it's #gold is the mission. Of course, all entries have to meet with the group rules, but besides that, as many as you wish to share with us, whatever kind of project you'd like to do, whatever collection you want to work with, whatever theme you want to do, is all, of course, up to you. And the gold, you can bring that in lots of different ways. It doesn't even have to be through like this one with Mirror Card. It might be that you want to do something with gold ribbon. It might be that you want to bling something with loads of gold gems. It might be that you want to use a gold glitter, a gold ink pad from our lovely metallic ink pad range, or maybe it's going to be one of the refills that you're going to put into a mister and make a really shiny gold mister that you're going to use over a stencil. Maybe you're going to use our clear texture paste and bring in that re-inker and a bit of a sprinkle from our glitters and create a gold texture paste. Or of course, you could just go for the gold texture paste that we have, which is the Gemstones Gold Texture Paste. But it doesn't have to be our product. It doesn't have to be any of the bits I'm mentioning. It's just trying to give you some inspiration of where you're going to be able to find golds and what you could be creating with them. Maybe it's through stencils, maybe it's over stamping, maybe it is in a mister format. It can be anything you want it to be, but gold has got to kind of be your focal. So #gold this week for your homework mission. We will, if you're new to this, the two bits I haven't mentioned, it all takes place over on our group, which is created with Jamie Rodgers Crafts. And then you just pop up a post, separate post for every entry using #gold. And then next Monday, we will tell you who is our winner of that week's challenge. This week, of course, was our lovely Linda. But next week, we will pick a new winner and you'll receive a goodie bag of goodies, little surprisey crafty goodie bag. So come along and join in. We love to see what you create. We love to see what you're doing. Just make sure you post to fit the group rules. Tomorrow we will put up a little graphic telling you all of the bits I've waffled through, including dates and times and all of those bits that you need to know. But you can start entering whenever you're ready. #gold is all you have to do on your entries so that we know that they're for the competition. Okay, should we get on with our card? Let's have a little look at what we're doing, shall we? So we're going to bring in and we're going to start off, and this is quite a quick demo, we're going to start off with one of our decal edge squares. So I've gone ahead and I've cut our decal edge square and I've used the stitch lines that come with the square and I've done that already. I've then used 3 gold corners to go around the corners of this project. And we're going to bring in a 4th just so you can see them on their own. This is of course the corner that we're using. This one comes with the Kaleidoscope Segments die set that Pete's going to hand me. The Kaleidoscope Segments die set. I say this, I've moved all of his troughs and trays about due to the fact I've stolen all his units, and poor Pete hasn't got a clue which one I've put them on. So we're looking for the Kaleidoscope, the Octagon one, please Peter, which has got that corner in it. That corner, I really have set him a mission. You can't see the shelving racks that are off to one side. But where we had them all set out nicely...
It reminds me of supermarket sweep, where aren't we going to go back to that conversation?
We had them all nicely set out in date order on the shelves, didn't we? And now I've literally just sort of thrown them all on a shelving rack.
Not anymore.
Yeah, organisation's gone out the window, so I apologise. Sorry, Pete. So your Kaleidoscope Octagons, this is the set we're taking the corner from. It's this corner down here we're using. This corner matches perfectly. It's literally the same pattern that's been brought in and used on our lovely fretwork square tile. So it does coordinate perfectly between the two if they're things that you add into your sort of stash. But today we're going to be using just the corner element from that Kaleidoscope set. And we're going to cut it, and have cut it from gold mirror card. And we're going to go back to our glue on our little applicator like we did before. And we're going to go over the top of this just because when we're gluing down a delicate die cut, it's nice and quick and easy. And we can bring that in and we can place that down in the corner. So we still see the stitch marks. those little lovely lines that we've got, we still want to keep them in place. I'm going to add that down so that we've got a lovely corner element. We're then going to flip this over, and already I've gone ahead and put some 1mm foam tape on the reverse of it. So we're going to take those off and we're going to bring it in and put it on top of the card. Now, you might be wondering, can you win the cards I've made this evening? You probably don't want the first one because that was a bit of a mixed match of just playing, but you can certainly win this one. So what's your question this week? And I've already given you the answer to the question this evening twice. The question is, where is Gwen's shop located? All I want to read, or all Pete needs to read, is the name of the location of Gwen's shop. This is where Gwen will be doing her demo day this Saturday on the 7th. So all I want to read or see is, where is that store? And Pete will pick one lucky winner to win our cards from this evening. So moving on to our next layer, we're going to go for one of our triple layer looks. So we've brought in the same decal edge as we used with a square, but this time in an octagon format. We're going to swap it up slightly, and we've gone for the pierced detail running around the edges of this one instead of the stitch, because it's fun to play between the different ones. And we're going to place that down onto our card blank. We're then going to go ahead and we're going to bring in the same decal edge, this time again with a stitch, but on a circle. But our circle, we're going to do something a bit more fancy with it. We're going to emboss it using a stencil. So what stencil shall we go with this evening? Let's go with our lovely pinstripe one. This is one of my favourites. So we're going to use our pinstripe stencil, and we're going to use our Kitten Kaboodle Pro Cut machine. So we're going to start off and we're going to place the stencil down on top of the 3mm plate. We're then going to add on top our card that we wish to emboss, and we're then going to place on top our rubber mat. The rubber mat for this machine comes with it. It will be included, and then we're going to use a 5mm plate on the top of that, and we're going to send that through the machine. Now, if you've not seen this done before, this is a technique I absolutely love to do with stencils, so I do often talk about it, so I'll keep it quick. But what's going to happen is the rubber mat is going to push down on top of the card that we put on top of the stencil, and it's going to push the card into the apertures on the stencil, and that will then give us that embossed effect that we are trying to create. It's a great way to use stencils because it, of course, opens up a whole new world of possibilities for you with every stencil you already have. And I absolutely love doing this because it kind of makes it like a traditional embossing folder. I love embossing folders, especially now we've gone to the deep 3D ones, but I don't always want something that's going to steal the show. Sometimes I just want something kind of subtle, and I find that if we emboss with a stencil, we create a much more subtle, more like the original embossing folders effect. So there's nice depth here, nice dimension, but nothing too prominent. So when we build up on top of this, we're not going to lose what we're building up. We're still going to keep that pattern. So that one, of course, was the pinstripe stencil. I have already gone ahead and I have done this for this project using our ornate tiles, which is another one of our stencils. And I've done exactly the same as what we just did, sending it through the machine to emboss it. So we're going to go for this one because it's already got tape on the back of it, and it'll save watching you lot watching me add tape to it because that's boring. And we're going to bring in another gold circle. So we're going to use our plain circles for this one. And this is just so we have that nice golden halo coming in from underneath the panel that we're going to be layering on top. So we're going to place down our gold circle somewhere in the middle, and then we're going to bring in our lovely ornate panel. Now, of course, and this applies to both of them, but you might see it slightly better with this one. Not only have we got it embossed on this side, we've also got it debossed on this side. So you can choose which side you wish to use it on, just like you would an embossing folder, to be fair. But it's nice that you can see, if that's a new concept and not one you've seen before, you can, of course, use both sides of it. And then I'm going to bring in some of our foliage. Now, I have a feeling, Peter, this officially sold out today, didn't it? Was it the original lavish foliage or the mirrored?
The original one.
So, okay, over to our independent adjudicator. When will this be back in stock, Peter?
The pressure. We're hoping it'll be back in about 3 weeks.
3 weeks? Have we ordered this already, or are you going to get another warning?
Another warning. I don't think I've had a warning yet.
I feel this could be another warning. I think it has already been ordered, hasn't it?
I think you're distracting from your warning.
My warnings, because I've got so many of them.
Exactly.
So many of them.
We're glad you realise, aren't we, viewers?
So about 3 weeks, we reckon, and that's the original lavished foliage.
Yes. Yeah.
So mirrored lavish foliage is still available.
There's a limited amount, but it's still available at the moment.
Okay. Lovely.
Some of our
Thank
stockists
you.
may still have
Of
the
course,
original
yes.
one.
Whenever we talk about an item being out of stock, we are talking as a supplier that means it's gone out of stock with us. It doesn't, of course, mean that every stockist is sold out of it. So once again, we send you back to the stockist list on the website. Have a little look at the stockist list and do shop about a bit to see who's still got them in stock. But if you've been looking for the lavish foliage, the original, and you've just maybe bought the mirrored one and you want the original to go with it, do be warned it's going to be a couple of weeks till that comes back in stock. That's what we're trying to say. We always like to give you little warnings if items are going to go out of stock or if they've gone out of stock, because we know what it's like. We all have wish lists that we're possibly working through or working down, and it's nice that if we can kind of give you a heads up that something's heading out the door or when it's likely to be back in stock, then you can make sure that you get hold of it when you need it or you want it. So we are going to now cut our flowers for this project, and we're going to do some silver ones because we've got gold ones already cut. But I love working with these. This, of course, is our Button Blooms flower die. So we're going to bring in some silver mirror card. I'm going to place that on the top of this, and I'm going to send it through our machine. Now, with these dies, these ones are heavily etched dies. So not only can they cut, it will also deboss for us. So we're going to end up with a nice debossed look. I've been distracted. What's going on here, Peter?
Well, my comments
I think
keep
Jamie
freezing.
and Pete, where did it go? Need to add a yurt or a Nissan hut to the car park for those of us as a way to camp out.
So we need to have a little glamping complex at the front, is what I'm hearing.
Have you ever stayed in a yurt?
Never stayed in the yurt.
I've never stayed in a yurt.
No.
Would you like to stay in a yurt?
I don't know, but it's giving me vibes of Gwen with a...
Gwen is in the building. Be careful what you
Is she
say.
No, so she is. I feel like...
Gwen is here.
I feel like I'm going to be told off. No, with her wench story.
I feel
she'd hang around in a glamping pod.
I feel that needs more context for anybody that hasn't joined us
Gwen,
previously.
did she want to dress as a wench? What, a medieval wench? What was the story? Help me out whilst I dig.
No. You just keep digging. You just keep digging. It's absolutely fine.
Or the silence. They say leave it silent.
The silence. I will try and help here. I have a memory like a sieve, but I have a feeling that we were talking about fancy
come
dress
back
night.
to Debbie McGee again, aren't we?
No. I think we were talking about having a fancy dress night.
Oh, we were.
And it come up on that I don't know how we ended up
said
with
she
Gwen.
wanted to
Gwen did say she wanted to be, didn't she? We didn't just inflict that on Gwen.
Medieval wench is the word.
I could take this conversation to another level, but I'm not going to. But Gwen's husband was quite happy with the idea of the medieval wenches. I'm not saying no more. You carry on amongst yourselves.
We're going to go off air in a minute.
We are. Facebook are going to write to us and tell us that we cannot discuss these things any further. So, okay, why Pete's been talking about
Diane says
Gwen.
I'll get a slap from Auntie Gwen.
You might do. You might do. So, okay, while we're chatting about this, let's have a little look at these. So these are the ones I popped out to begin with. No, they're not. These ones are. I can see now. These ones, we left them in the die. We sent them through with the mat on top of them. And what that does is that embosses them even deeper. And I've done this intentionally because if we flick these ones over, you can see how deep the embossing is on these ones versus the ones that we just sent through and cut. I know on screen, especially with mirror card, it's not always that easy to see the difference. But if we look at the back of them, we can see how that mat on the top of these really amplified the level of embossing and give us a completely different look to them. And this again is really important. So if you want to do like Diane did with the box and rub over the top of these with a stays-on pad, the deeper the embossing, the easier that's going to be. The more shallow the embossing when we bring ink to them, we might get ink through into the lower areas. The deeper embossing, the ink's going to glide over the top of them. If you still struggle, which can depend on your ink pad brand you're working with and the card you're working with, then a brayer can be even better because a brayer will just go over the top and it won't go into the indentations. But embossing them certainly helps give more prominence to them. So we'll take those flowers out of the way for the moment, and we're going to bring in some that we've already created. And all we're going to do with these is we're going to pinch them so that we create some nice depth to each of the petals. Now, of course, there's multiple ways we could shape these. We could shape them around a paintbrush. We could shape them with some tweezers. We could pinch them down as well as pinch them up. But for this flower, all we're going to do is give them a little pinch in the middle of the petals and form them forwards. And we're going to do this with a few of them, just so that we've got them to build up and show you what we're going to look like. So.
Joanna says you need to own a hotel where they camp out.
Oh, do you know what?
And
There's a
they craft
hotel
all day.
very, very close to us that is currently up for sale. And I do keep saying to Pete, I would absolutely love to purchase it. Is it £750,000?
Yes.
It is, isn't it? It's on the market for £750,000. That's currently about £800,000 out of my budget. No, not 800,000. Is that right? Yeah, it is 800,000, isn't it? Yeah. What I'm trying to say is it's well over my budget, and we probably need about 50 grand before we could even think about it. But you know, no complaints here. But it would be lovely. One day, it would be very lovely to be able to offer that as well. Just a proper craft hotel. Wouldn't that be cool? Where you could come and just craft with us and stay and explore the area, yeah, all of them kind of bits. But yeah, and I'm sure there are possibly slightly cheaper or smaller hotels available. But it would certainly be a lovely one to be able to put you all up in. Maybe one day. If we ever win the lottery.
One day, you never know.
We'd have to win the lottery for that, I feel. Or maybe this is, but then there are more important reasons for a GoFundMe page, I feel. But maybe a GoFundMe page to be able to make that dream a reality. But we are ticking boxes this week when it comes to dreams and reality. So you never know, maybe one day. But it would be certainly it's on the list.
Sue's trying to plan her next retreat, a crafty retreat from Jilly's. Asking if Jilly's got another demo planned.
Oh, I can't go telling you too much, but it is one that we are chatting about, and it will be later this year, hopefully. If all goes to plan.
When we're thinking of, or
no, Peter.
No. Yeah, but they need to plan it into their social.
Well, that's on Jilly to tell them.
I think she's eyeing up September, maybe.
You can't go tell. I'm going to have to mute you. That's warning number 3.
Oh dear.
I think
I missed warning number 2.
No, I'm sure you got warned for something a minute ago, didn't you?
I got an oi from Gwen. I think that's my warning.
That's 3 warnings and an oi.
Sorry, Gwen.
Yeah. See? Not good at all. Okay, we're just going to keep building this flower by the looks of things, and we're just going to keep adding layers to it. I get a bit carried away. And I probably could have done with another base layer to this one, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to go with this. I'm going to twist that so it's the right way, and then we're going to bring in that nice small one, and we're going to place that down into the middle. And then we're going to get some tweezers, or actually a paintbrush will do, and we're just going to push down on the centre to let that glue grab and take everything where it needs to be. But I have got one I've already done earlier. And I've added a little pearl to this one. Got a little bit flattened in my pack, so we're just going to give it a little squeege around the edges to make sure that that 3D's up and comes back to life.
Diane says tents will be our best bet then.
I think tents maybe, yes. Yeah, and unless anyone's kind of got $750,000 that they'd like to lend me, maybe. I don't think a bank would entertain that concept currently, but it would be a lovely venture. Wouldn't it? Be able to have you all up here and stay for a little while. Okay, we've neatened that up. We're going to take that and we're going to place it onto our little array around there. And then we've got another little smaller one here that we're going to bring in as well. And we're going to place that one just off down here in the flowers. And then lastly, we're going to bring in a dragonfly that I've done exactly the same with. So I've cut it and I've embossed it. Like we did the flowers, I've added 2 together with some foam tape on the reverse of them. And then we're going to place that just going off on our circle over there. Now, of course, you could add on a sentiment to this one if you wanted to. You could certainly add in some more details if you'd like. I'm going to add another flower, actually, because I don't want 2. I think I'm going to add one up here. Might put a bit of a gap between them. There we go. But you could add more onto that if you wanted. You could possibly even add some of the smaller dragonflies into this mix as well if you wish. But it gives you a nice idea of what you could be creating for our #gold competition. So if you haven't already and you'd like to be entered in to win this card, all you need to do is tell us in the comments, where is Gwen's shop located? That's all you have to do. Sheila says, keep going, Pete. Tell us more. It's normally Jamie who gives us the secret.
See?
I don't know if that's true, actually.
Oh,
I think
do.
you are the
Sheila says
giveaway.
it is.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Sheila probably is right. Sheila's impartial.
She is.
Probably what we need, isn't it? An impartial judge. Yeah, maybe. So, okay, if you haven't already, where is Gwen's store located? Tell us, because Pete's got to pick a winner shortly to send out that card too. And I think if we're quick, we could possibly fit in one more. What do you reckon? One more, and then we'll leave you all in peace. So for the next one, I think we should play with some glitter. It is coming to the sparkly time of year, isn't it? Christmas is not far away. So let's delve into the glitter and get sparkly already. So this is the card that we're going to do for our next one. This is using our polka dot from our squares. It's using the same flower we've just been working with, and it's bringing in our beautiful Gemstones glitter. I don't know if you've had this or seen this or used this, but our glitter is so incredibly sparkly. And I know you kind of think I'm biased, and that's what I'm going to say, but hopefully it's coming through on screen. It is such a disco ball of sparkle. It's beautiful. And I don't know how well you'll see the flower, but all the different colours that come together on the flower, that's the important wowie bit to this project that we're going to be working on. But we'll start off by doing a tile. So for this one, what I've done is I've taken a self-adhesive sheet, you know, one of the A4 ones that we do. I've stuck it onto some polar white card, and I've sent it through, and I've cut it out using one of the outside squares. So just one of these outside squares, so that we've got a sticky square to work with. We've then used the outside edge and, of course, our polka dot. So we've got the outside edge and the polka dot one, and we've cut that out of white card. So we've ended up with this bit. Now, I'm going to set Pete the mission here to have a little look for the card that Ian created with this, because Ian made this incredible pegboard style from this die set, and I want to share that with you again because I think that's really cool. We're going to take that bit off, and a little tip I see from Gwen the other day. Now, how did she do this? Gwen did this different to what I did, and I think this is always really lovely that you get to see these tips from different people, which is why we're really excited to be bringing Gwen's lives to you as well, because everyone crafts slightly differently, don't they? If this was me, I would take that and I would put that over the top of it, and then I'd bring this in and I'd squidge it down. But on Gwen's demo on Thursday, Gwen put the die that way and then brought the sticky bit over to this, knowing that where she'd put the sheet, the excess, the waste bit off of the top, she could line that up clearly, push down on it, and know that she's not going to stick it to the desk through the apertures, which is actually a really good way to do it. So that's the way we're going to do it, because I feel you've got a bit more control over this, because you can see the edges of where you're working. So I thought that was a very good tip. Then we can take that away, and we can see that we've lined that up. So we've got our square in place and behind them dots. If you want to give it a little push down, then of course you can bring that back in and give it a little push down to make sure it's nice and in place. But it's the square that we need to be working with. So what we're going to do next is we're going to dig into our glitters. Now let me find those. We are going to go for, ooh, this is my problem. I'm never very good at deciding. So what should we go for? We've got pink sapphire, we've got aquamarine, we've got violet, we've got rose quartz, black, we've got Larry Mar, Larry Air, Larry something, Larry Mar. I can never get that right, can I? Then we've got Heliodor and we've got Argentite. So there's more colours than that, I believe, but they're the ones I've got here currently. So we are going to go, stop it over there, stop it.
Sheila's sitting on the fence. She says you're both wonderfully guilty at telling a secret.
Wonderfully guilty. See, that's better, Sheila. That's better. Don't go just leaving me in it. So we're going to go for aquamarine. It's one of my favourite colours. So we're going to bring that in, and we're going to sprinkle this over the top. Now, of course, all of the areas in between the dots are sticky. Oh, should we do? I'm doing it now. We're not meant to be doing this at all. We're going to make out, and it doesn't matter because we can use it in a second. So I was going to do one colour over this tile, which is what I did for the card, but actually temptation is too great to start playing. So shall we start doing a bit of a combo? So we did aquamarine, we've then sprinkled on a little bit of pink sapphire, and then I want something that's going to stand out against that. Let's go for rose quartz. And we're going to bring this in, and we're going to sprinkle that in the gaps to infill them over areas. Now this bit that we've created here, there's no fear with that. We can still use that. We'll use it in the next project. But we've now made a really cool mix that we can work with. And if you don't want to do that, then you could tap it off in between. But actually, I really like creating little mixes. That's kind of cool, isn't it? Do we like the rainbow effect? That works quite nicely, doesn't it? So of course, clean that off with a microfiber cloth or a paintbrush or something similar and buff that away. This bit here, we're going to use that in a second. So let's have a little dig through here and see if I've got a panel ready. Have I got a panel? I might not have a panel. I don't think I have. I'm sure I have a panel in my kit somewhere. I don't think I have. Have I got a panel? I haven't got a panel. No, okay, so we're going to make a panel. So we need to find a self-adhesive sheet, Peter. Do we have a self-adhesive sheet? We have a self-adhesive sheet, do not fear. No, we don't. We have a topping from a self-adhesive sheet. Oh, Pete, it's all going terribly wrong. Pete will find us a self-adhesive sheet. We're going to use some black card because this is what I really love doing, is working with black card when we're going to do this technique, because when we cut into it, what we will then have is a completely different look to it. Oh, I found a bit, that will do. But we'll have this anyway. So if you've not seen self-adhesive sheets before, we'll show you how this actually works. We often talk about them and we don't always actually show you what they are. So our self-adhesive sheet has got a film covering, or like a sheet plastic in either side of it, a non-stick sheet. These are brilliant. I love these. There's so much we can do with them. Like I mentioned earlier, we can use these to put our tape onto and cut down from it. We can use these to help release our die cuts from in our dies. You can use them like we did when we did this panel to go underneath them so the bits don't stick. They also make really good mixing like paint palettes as well, because they're easy clean. But we're going to bring the sheet in. So we've peeled off one side and we're going to place that over our black card. I'm going to line that up, give that a good push down to make sure that that's nice and in place. And then on our ones, you'll notice that there is like a little edge to them to make them easy peel, so you can then take away the excess and get to that sticky bit. Now I've already got a piece here that's been cut down that I found. So for speed, we'll do a slightly smaller panel. So we're going to take off the top coat of that one to remove yet another one of those sheets. And we've then got this piece that we can play with. And we're going to bring in another piece of paper to work on. We might even go for two actually, because I'm getting a bit messy. There we go. We're going to lay that down in the middle. And then we're going to go back to our colours of glitter. And we're going to do kind of like what we did in that first one. We're just going to start sprinkling these in different locations. So little bits here and there. You can go for lines if you like. I'm going to try not to go for lines just because I don't want it to look too planned. So that was the aquamarine. This one's going to be the violet sapphire. I'm going to go all the way at the top of this one.
Our lovely Jane is with us this evening from Unicorn Crafts. Good evening, Jane.
Good evening, Jane. How lovely to have you here with us. Thank you for joining us. I was talking to one of your lovely customers the other day who was completely singing your praises and reckoned that your store is absolutely amazing and she loves visiting. Which is always nice, isn't it? I love that when you've got happy customers that tell people how much they enjoy coming to you and visiting you and supporting you. Do you know what? As a stockist, you're winning then, aren't you? You're doing something right. If you're keeping people coming back and happy to be with you, that's great. So yeah, really pleased for you. Lovely store. Okay, going over the top now, we're going to add in some Larry Marr. Did you notice I had to check the name on the bottle?
You did.
Again?
There was hesitancy there.
I have to check the name every time. It's awful. These things that happen. And I'm going quite OTT now because I'm now going to bring in some of the argentite as well, which is the silver, and go over the top of that. Now that bit that we created on the sheet underneath, if we want to, we could brick that up right now and sprinkle that over the top so we've got something to infill the gaps. We could also bring in this sheet that we had earlier and tap that over the top too, because then that way we're going to use that too. And then we're just going to brush this over the top so that we end up with our multicoloured sheet. Because what we're trying to do is create our very own mixed glitter card. So I'll burnish all this down, take off all of that excess, and we can use that. There's no reason we can't. We've made our very own cool little mix there. Maybe we're going to put that into some clear texture paste and use it to make our very own glittery texture paste. You know, there's a lot of ways we can use that excess. But tap that bit off. And then what have we created? Can you see the different shades coming through in that? Can you see that gold just coming through? The blue, the pink. It's always tricky to know how well that will come through on screen, but it's here, it's incredibly sparkly. You can even see my reflection in it, that's how sparkly it is. You know, when we do that with Mirror card, you get to see all the cameras and me and all that lot. You don't tend to expect you're going to get that off of a glitter sheet, do you? I can't think of a glitter card that I've actually picked up and got a reflection from it or in it. So it shows just how sparkly they are and how impressive they are. Now, once we've done that bit, this is where the fun comes in, because now we can die cut from this. We could, if we wanted to, depending on the ink we're working with, we could stamp over the top of that. We could put this for an embossing folder and emboss it. We could put a stencil over the top of it and add over a different ink or a different medium and create a completely different effect with it. But what we're going to do is we're going to die cut it, because we're going to bring back in that flower die that we're working with, our lovely blossom flower. And we're going to place that back on the plate, and we're going to bring in that card. I'm going to place that on the top, and we're going to send it through to cut out. So while that's going through, let's clear up some of this glitter. There we go.
Bethan says it's very galaxy looking.
It does look a bit galaxy-esque, doesn't it? Yeah, that's
doesn't
a very good thing, actually. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that, but it is. Oh, here we go. Pete found that card I was going to talk to you about. This is the one that Ian's created with the polka dot background. I really thought this was a cool idea, taking that polka dot and turning it into a pegboard, sort of a garage or a shed look. He's even drawn the wood grain in the background, which I thought was really, really cool. He's added on his little to a very special friend, and he's used some of the metallic waxes over the top of that. I also like the little hand sort of scrawled screws over the top there, because it's what you would have in your garage, isn't it? It's how it would be. You know, we're all guilty of sort of labelling bits kind of messily, aren't we, when it's the garage and the shed. So to me, that looks really authentic and really, really lovely. Okay, back to where we were. So we've die cut our flowers. Let's take away this excess piece to reveal our die cut elements. Oh, come here. We've got a bit of stick going on there. There we go. We can lift that. Here we go. Now, if you're worried about that sticking, so I've got a little bit of stick coming through, go back to these sheets that we take off. You know that sheet that we took off earlier? Put your die in place, put that over the top, then put your sticky card, because in that way it's not going to stick to anything. And it also will prevent it from sticking inside your die as well, because if it is a bit sticky, and Gwen was talking about this the other night actually, so I should have thought and should have done it that way, but nevertheless, if it is a bit sticky, then you might find that your flowers are going to stick down with inside your die, and then they're just going to need a little bit of teasing to remove them. So that sheet can be a really good little indicator and preventative measure to prevent you having to peel them from out your die. But there we have our flower. What were you chuckling at over there?
Gwen, she says, subtitles think that Pete is called Kate. She's called it Karma.
Karma. I like that.
Hostage cam Kate.
No, don't. Don't even talk about that. I was talking to Lynn, Wendy and Ian earlier about hostage cam and trying to get new sort of members for our hostage cam camera bit. I have a feeling in a few weeks we might have a Wendy coming to take your place for the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah, I keep telling you.
Wendy, that's it.
Wendy might come and be the Debbie McGee of the day.
Would be nice.
Would be lovely.
We should all do one together, can't we?
Yeah. So all we're doing now is we're just pinching these flowers to give them a bit of dimension and give them a bit of shape. And they look really lovely. It's the same as when we did the gold ones a moment ago, aren't they? They don't have to be too prominent. You could, again, mix them and sort of shape them with tweezers and different bits. But all we're going to do is do that and then layer them up, just like we did the gold one earlier, sticking them together to create this beautiful three-dimensional flower. So let's go on and complete this card, shall we? I'll give you a little lift of that just so you can see where we were heading. I've not glued this one together and I haven't added in all of the layers, but very quickly you can see how cool and sparkly that becomes. And it does look a little bit like a space flower, doesn't it? Or what you'd imagine space flowers to look like. How beautiful is that? And again, this is why we work with a black card for these, and you don't have to, but when you look around the edges, and I don't know how well you're going to see this, so forgive me if you can't see it, but you end up with a black edge or line going around the die cut. And you also get that little bit of black shining through from underneath. When you go on to how the colours of glitter reacted to the white card, hopefully you can see what I mean about the colour change just through where the gaps are with the black shining through from underneath. If you think we've covered both pieces completely in glitter, but look how different that looks to how that one does. But they're the same colours, same sheet, same everything. The only thing that we've altered is the colour we're working on. So we'll take those out of the way for the minute. Let's bring in our card. So we're going to start off with our card blank. And this evening, I don't think I've got a rule actually, Peter. I think I left it in the other room. I'm going to say this is a 6x6. Let's have a little look. Are we anywhere near? Oh, we are. 6x6. That was a good guess, wasn't it? The rule, I can tell you where. The rule has been left in the other room when we were measuring the depth of an ink pad to work out what shelving we needed to buy.
Yes.
Just stack ink pads on.
That's right, I remember now.
Honestly, guys, when I tell you we're in chaos here, we genuinely are in chaos. Good chaos, fun chaos, lovely chaos, but it is kind of chaos. Part of each area has been packed up and sent to a warehouse and ceremoniously sort of dumped in the middle, knowing that at some point we're going to come back and put it into where it needs to be. And there's endless sort of phone calls and bits taking place to try and work out who's going to provide us with internet and things like that. There genuinely is a lot of chaotic fun going on, isn't there?
That's one way to put it.
So then all we've done is we've brought in these panels. So back to the very beginning of this, where we started off making these, and we've foam padded them on, and we're just going to start placing these together. Now I've cheated already and I've cut these ones down, but a bit like Emma does on Emma's videos, and Emma did that lovely flower video the other day, didn't she? Where she took a background panel and she stuck loads of our beautiful flowers all over it, and then just flipped it over and trimmed it down around the edges. When I tend to do these, I tend to actually do that in a similar way. I do guillotine mine instead, but I will stick on all of the panels and then I'll guillotine them to make sure they're nice and square and equal. But for speed, I've gone ahead and trimmed them already, so you could just see me putting them pieces in place. And we're going to bring in some glue and we're going to place this onto that black card. And we've gone for that black layer so that we match in with the black that's coming through from underneath the glitter and some of the other pieces that are coming up. So we'll place that one down, and then we're going to go back into our foliage. So we're going to bring in some of our mirrored foliage again and some of our original foliage. And I've already got this put together on a piece of foam tape. So, oh, get that out from in there. My words got caught on me foliage. So we're going to take that part away. And we're going to stick on this little corner element of foliage coming around there. And then we're going to bring in that beautiful flower that we had earlier. So mine has just had a level come away from it. So we're going to place down the big layer to begin with over that middle part. We're going to add some more glue into there. And then we're going to bring this part in. It's already built and place that down into the middle. So you've got that really sparkly matching colours to go onto our panel. Now you can see on the actual card, just in case you're wondering, I've used aquamarine, the Larimar of the blue, the violet sapphire, and the pink sapphire. So they're the 4 colours for this card. I know you see me throw on a few others when we were doing the die cutting to create the flowers, but they're the 4 that I actually stuck with for this project. And I've used those throughout all of the different tiles and then to create the flower on top. I've also used a bit more of the die cut sheet, the sheet that we die cut the flowers from, to create my sentiment, so that I've got a matching sparkly glittery sentiment to go in with the project. So we're going to start off by using a white and black matten layer. Then we're going to bring in and place just, let's go slightly off the edge there, onto that bit. And then we're going to bring in that sentiment that we've already die cut. We're going to flip that over. We're going to bring in some glue. And we're going to go across the reverse of this, just to make sure it's going to stick on nice and strong onto that little panel that we've added on. And then we're going to bring this in and we're going to place this onto here.
Diane says she adores this card.
Oh, do you, Diane? Thank you. That's very nice of you. Very, very nice of you. It's so fun to actually start creating with the tiles and kind of putting bits back together, isn't it? And this, although we've stuck with the polka dot tile, you could have done this very easily out of different designs. So maybe you want to make up a sign of a puzzle. Maybe you want to twist it and bring it down diagonally instead, so it isn't quite so square and regimental. There's loads of ways you could play with that, but it's kind of fun to see actually what you can start building and making up. And maybe you're into scrapbooking, maybe you like doing bigger home decor projects. That would work perfectly for larger projects as well. So have you picked our winner yet, Peter? Because we need to give a couple of cards away, don't we? So what are we going to win this evening? We are going to win the gold card that we did earlier, and we're going to win this one that we've just completed. So these 2 cards are going to be sent out to one lucky winner. So have you got one in mind already? Or do you want me to run through and recap all of the bits?
No,
and then
I've
we'll come
got
to you.
one eyed up.
Come on then. Give us your winner for this week. We'll come over to you. Where are you?
We're
There
on
you
the
are.
camera again. So congratulations this week goes to... We've got the drum roll sorted yet.
Sorry. Is that another warning?
That can't be dismissal. Congratulations this evening go to Pauline Armstrong.
Oh, congratulations,
So
Pauline.
congrats to Pauline. I'll let you do the next part so I don't get
You,
sacked.
you can do the next part now. No, you left me. Okay, so Pauline, please could you message the page with your address, please, and let us know if you'd like us to sign the cards or leave them blank, and we'll get them popped into the post straight away. Congratulations. Thank you all for joining in with our little quiz this evening. Did we get many entries?
We did, yeah, it's quite a lot.
Yeah, and did they all get it right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So we know that we're heading to Saddleworth. Saddleworth on Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. to go and join Gwen for her demo day. Now, don't forget, Gwen is asking you to book booking slots. She's already had an awful lot of interest and she wants to make sure that everybody gets to come and join in the fun. So if you haven't already, jump on over to the Stamppad Facebook page where you'll see more details. Gwen, if you're still with us, if you want to link that post in the comments, that certainly wouldn't hurt for people to know where to go so they can see where to book their time slot to be with you on Saturday. But it is, of course, in store at the Stamppad, Saturday the 7th of June from 10 till 4 with Gwen. I know Gwen, you know Gwen, she's full of inspiration, she's full of helpful hints and tips. We see that from the live last Thursday, didn't we? So if you have got the ability to pop and see Gwen, please do go and join her. Support Gwen, support the day, and have a jolly good laugh, I'm sure. So don't forget, that is Saturday the 7th of June, 10 till 4. Book your slot. Other things to remind you of, tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. is the Highlight Crafts bingo event where you can win. And I don't know if I'm allowed to tell them what we've supplied for this, but there is some Jamie Rodgers Crafts goodies that you will be able to win if you take part in the bingo game. You can already download and create your bingo card from the Highlight Crafts website, I believe. I think I got my link from the website. I did it, I answered the questions, but it's up there and you can do that and make sure that you enter to win. So follow all their instructions. There's a few instructions. Pop onto the website Highlight Crafts to find out more about it and join them tomorrow evening from 7 p.m. on the Highlight Crafts Facebook page so that you can take part and hopefully win some goodies. Don't forget, this week we have got Gwen back with us on Thursday at 7 p.m. Gwen will be having a little look at the travel collection for her Thursday night natter this week. And then next week, me and Gwen swap places. It's only 1 week, it's just a bit of a blip, but we're swapping for 1 week. So on Monday, you will have Gwen back here on at 7 p.m. for Monday Night Natter with Gwen. And then I will be with you on the Thursday for Thursday Night Natter with me. So that, I think, brings you up to date with everything. Little reminder, if you do want to join in with the homework challenge over on the group, then don't forget to use #gold to enter and make sure that gold is kind of one of your strongest components of the project. Doesn't matter what form that gold comes in, whether it's gems, ribbons, card, paints, glitters, whatever it needs to be to keep you happy. But come along and enter, and next week we might be calling out your name as the winner of our goodie bag. If there's no other questions, Peter, I think we can leave them all in peace.
I think they've had enough of us, don't you?
I think they've probably had enough of us.
Yeah.
I've had enough of us. Should we leave them in peace for this
It's hard
week?
to take that, viewers, but
It's been a long week, isn't it? It's been a busy week. It's been a long
it's
week.
only Monday.
It's still been a long week. It's been a good week, but long week. Of course, we'll keep you up to date over the next few days with posts as well about the new warehouse, so you can get to see behind the scenes of what's going on. Can't give you too many updates at the moment because I can't think of anything that they don't know. They've had a little tour, haven't they? So if you haven't seen the tour already, scroll back down the Facebook page, you'll see the tour of the warehouse. But we will, again, bring you more information as we go through the next couple of weeks. Thank you all for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
Is that all they get tonight?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the corner. Thank you for hostage count. Say good night properly.
Good night, all. Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you all very much, and I will see you next Thursday. Don't forget, Gwen's here with you this Thursday and next Monday. We'll see you all soon. Thanks for joining us. Night night.
Bye for now.